Hi, welcome to Debug to Deploy. In the previous video, we have solved the problem of performing the operations on the list using the thread. As you can see that these all are the output which is coming after some operation, right? So that solution works, but it follows a traditional and a more complex approach of using threads, right? Look at right there. So as you can see right here, we are using joins and a conventional approach of creating a thread. Okay. Now my question is, can we solve the same problem in a simpler and a more modern way using the latest approach such as a Java Stream API? The answer is of course yes. We can solve this problem through the Java 8 Stream API, which is more easier, more cleaner code. Okay. So again, in the Java Stream API, we have two approach. One is stream and one is parallel stream. So in this video, we will be going to learn how we can resolve this problem through Stream API, and in the next video, we will be discussing how we can resolve the same problem using parallel stream. So let's do one thing first of all. Let's copy this whole code and paste it again, and this time I'm changing the name, and the name would be stream. Okay. So one recommendation, guys, if you didn't see my previous videos, then my recommendation is to go through my previous videos as well, because in the previous videos you come to know that on what kind of the problem we are working on. Okay. So now as you can see that I have copied the code, and for my new audience, let's recap in a short way what we were doing. That we have a one collection and we have number of objects right there in the collection. This is a collection of a passport. How my passport looks like. So the passport is a normal bean class which has few properties, and then in the database class I have created few passports, and here you can also see that we have a passport type, that is a enum. And in the previous example, what I have done, I created. So what is my operation? My operation is I have to filter out the blacklisted passport. How I can filter it out on the blacklisted passport? That I have a private boolean is blacklisted. So if the is blacklisted is true, it means that passport is blacklisted. So I want to filter the blacklisted passports, right? How I can do that? In order to do that, what I am doing, because my list is little big, right? As of now I am taking only 100 records, but probably it can have a million records, right? So how I can filter it out? In order to do that, I distribute the list into the two parts, and these two threads are responsible to distributing and performing the business operations. Okay. And through executing this code, when I'm running this part, right, I will get that output of blacklisted passport, right? Now the similar approach can I do? Can we implement the same code without thread, right? Because what is happening nowadays in the real time application, no one is interested to write down that complex threads, right? And it is, even though not recommended, it makes our application very much complex, right? So how we can resolve the same issue using the latest Stream API? So for the new audience, and actually this video is not dedicated for the Stream API, but still I just want to give a small introduction to Stream API. That what is a Stream API? That Stream API follows a a kind of a programming where the operation are changed together. It is chained, right? One operation leads to the another operation, and to process the data one by one, right? So this is what the Stream API is. So guys, what we were discussing that we have to use it through Stream API. Okay. And what is a Stream API? Stream API is basically follow the chained operation. Now what is this chained operation? So look at right there, the chained operations looks like this way. So for example, let's say suppose we have a list, and over this list I am applying stream. Okay, I convert the whole thing into stream, whole list into a stream. So stream is basically the stream of data, stream of elements, and over the stream I can apply one operation, and then over this operation I can perform one another operation, and on this operation I can also perform some different operation. So what does it mean is that this is a list, and this list is, what does it mean is that this is list, and this list I am converting into stream. Then I am performing some business operation of filter. Obviously I have to write some code right there, and then after I have to, whatever the filter comes, right, whatever the filter generates a result, on that basis I am going to collect the elements again, and I can also perform map operation there, okay, some XYZ things, and then after I can collect the final operations. So in short, if I am going to tell you that stream API, the operations are basically distributed into two parts, right? How many parts? Two parts of operation. Either the operation are intermediate operations. So look at right there, these operations chain to another operation, and the terminal operation you can consider like this one as a tool list as a terminal operation, because this operation ends the stream process, okay. It is basically what the stream API. So it is fast, it is more cleaner code, and now let's check that how we can write down that whole lot of this code, okay, using stream API. So what I have already did and what I have already discussed, that I have created the stream new project where I am going to work on it. And as you can see, first of all, let's start with the entity. So as you can observe that my entity is intact, I am not going to change anything there. And then let's move on to the second part, that is the database part, okay. And I want something larger number there. So let's make 100, 1000, 10,000, and lakh, 10 lakh, okay, some 10 lakh entries. So we have a huge data of of passports. Now few entries, intentionally what I did, every fifth entry I made it as blacklisted. You can observe right there that line number 31, which points out that boolean is blacklisted. So I am intentionally making it true. Every fifth entry I am making it true. Now let's execute the stream API code. So what I am doing in the service layer, I am removing like whole lot of this stuff, okay. That stuff I don't want it now, and here for the time being I am just returning null, okay. So now here what my agenda is, I want to perform this service layer with the filter of all the password through parallel operations using stream API, okay. So although not the parallel operation I am doing, first of all I just want to filter it using stream API, okay, and then after later on we will be implementing the parallel operations, okay. So let's implement one by one. So what would be the case is, we have all passports. So our all passport is what, all passports dot stream. So this is exactly the same code, this is exactly the same code what I have I have written there, list dot stream, and list all passport dot stream, okay. I hope that this one is clear. And then after I am performing filter operation, then filter takes predicate. Predicate is basically means that a filter operation, it can takes the operation which generates either boolean result, true or false, okay. So here I am taking passport, all are the passports, and then after again here I have to write down the business logic of filtering, okay. So what would be the filtration passport operation would be that if, let's write down the simple code, very simple code. First of all, this is blacklisted is double equals to true, then return true, else return false. I hope that this code is quite simple and everybody can understand this code very easily, okay. And then after what happen, I have to collect this operation, and in order to collect this operation I have to rely on collectors dot tool list, okay. So this thing I am returning from there. So this is what, this is list of passports, and this one is all blacklisted passports. Okay, and this list I'm returning it back again. Okay, so this list I'm returning, and what to do right there is that this list is being called from main. So this one is my main, and display and get all, this is filter passport and true, and this everything works very well. Okay, and this one is filter passport based on status, and sorry, yes, it's based on status. So let's take the status token and else return this. So here I am returning the status true, right, where the is blacklisted is true, I am going to return it. Okay, so let's figure it out. So these all are the passports. How many passports I am getting? I am getting, so let's write down the number of the passport. So what would be the number of the passport is sysout list dot size. Okay, sysout blacklisted count. Okay, so let's run it. So you can observe that we are getting 200,000 passports as a blacklisted passports. Okay, so I hope that this example is clear to you what I have done. Let's recap the things. I have a main class, then I have a database class where all the passports I'm manually creating. These passports are Indian or American, and obviously you will get the solution link in the GitHub. You can check the description, and this is the passport entity, and then this one is the passport type, and then this one is a service layer where I'm trying to filter out the passports, right? So one more thing I would like to show you. Let's take that how much time it takes, right? So what I should do in order to do that, long start and system and then current times in the milliseconds, right? So this is a start time, and after ending it, what I'm doing, this is the end time. Okay, so this is the end time, and let's write down, and this one is the, you can consider as our logs. Okay, in the log file I'm maintaining. Okay, so time consumed would be end minus start. Okay, so let's run it again, and here you can observe that how much time it is going to take. So you can observe right there is that wait a second. So guys, what I have done, I actually created a one local variable there as a time consumed, and I'm consuming it over the main class. Okay, I just wrote a simple code. So I have executed it, and you can now check it. So what happened, and what I did also, I also changed it to 1 million records. Okay, so we are again working on 1 million records. So when I'm going to run it, what you can observe that while running it, you can observe that it is going to take 29 milliseconds. Okay, in order to evaluate that one that records of that's records of 1 million entries. Okay, in order to evaluate it. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's change it to parallel stream. Okay, so it's a parallel stream. Okay, now let's verify it and figure it out that how much time it is going to take it. Parallel stream means two streams are executing parallelly. Okay, instead of relying on a one streams, now we are going to work on the multiple streams. Okay, so now let's execute it. Okay, now it is taking 64. Okay, wait a second. Now why we are getting the higher thing? Okay, this is again the main interview questions. So wait a second, let's execute and let's understand the both the things. So instead of doing it in the same application, what I'm doing, I'm changing this approach and writing it that same code again in the as a separate method in order to calculate the time. Okay, just a second, just give me one thing. So it is like filter passport based on status, and this one is through parallelStream. Okay, control V, parallelStream. So what I'm doing, first of all, just remove it to stream. Okay, and this, so time consumed stream, and control C and control V, and this time control, it's parallel. Okay, what is that spelling? Control C and control V, sometimes these things happens. So okay, so this one is this, just a second. So this one is time consumed stream, and this time consumed through streams, and these time consumed through parallelStream. Okay, so these are the two variables which I am going to execute right here. So just a second, sorry. So this one is this status, control C and control V, and right there again what I am doing, this one is list of 2, and this time I am using parallelStream, and again list 2 I am going to display blacklisted stream list 2 dot size, and this time I am printing the time consumed by parallelStream. Okay, parallelStream. So I am not printing the whole data. Instead of printing the whole data, I am just displaying the size returned. Okay, so let's run it. So here both the entries are fine, but you can observe right there that parallelStreams taking much more time. Okay, now the interview question can be that why it is taking much more time, right? So basically this is a top notch interview question, and the basic answer is that concurrency is not always making your code faster. Okay, sometimes it makes your code slower also. Why? Because it is not all about the volume every time. And to be very honest guys, this is a very important part, and I think that you should not skip this part. Okay, so the answer is that it is not always depends upon to the volume, right? The kind of the volume of data you have. Sometimes, and usually it basically happens that what type of the operation you have. So checking that simple operation, that filter blacklisted is equals to true, is not that complex, and instead of doing that, our processor have to do much more complex task, that is context switching between the multiple threads, right? So in the parallel processing, our processor is engaged more in context switching, and it would be better that rather than switching the threads from one to another, it's better to rely on a one thread and perform its operation. Okay, so that is the benefit, that is a benefit of or you can consider that that is basically the task. So threading is basically, or threading should be applicable in kind of a way where business operation is much complex. Okay, it is having a lot of workload, and in order to resolve this workload, we are trying to execute multiple threads in the different cores. Cores means 8 core, 4 core, 16 core of the system. Okay, in the previous video we have discussed about that cores as well, but right there threading is not giving us the full benefit. Why? Because our application, our objective, our operation is very simple, and we are wasting the CPU, CPU energy in context switching rather than doing the operation, the relevant operation what we want, or rather than doing the business operation, we are engaging our CPU more into the context switching. So I hope that you have understood the Stream API. and the concept behind it, that how and in which scenario you should use the parallel streams and when it will actually helps you out. This is a top notch interview questions, participants, and even though what I have observed that many of the experienced developers are not able to answer such questions efficiently, and they usually fails the interview. I hope that you have liked this video. If you have watched this video till here, I expect you to subscribe my channel, and do tell me that what type of other videos you want me to make. Although my objective is that gradually, as I am getting time, I'll try to make all the videos of the all topics, including the entire Java full stack. But rather than focusing on the conventional chapter by chapter approach, my 100% approach is towards, in order to resolve your issues and discuss the top notch interview questions what we usually ask through the candidates during the interview, so that you can also get the benefit of clearing the interviews. Thank you, participants, for watching my video till here. Thank you.